Hey everybody, Jason Bermas here. And unfortunately, today we are going to be talking about what I consider to be a very tragic figure in the likes of Isaac Kappy. Now, for those who are unaware of Isaac Kappy, he came on the scene years ago after posting a viral video and discussing what he said was high level pedophilia inside Hollywood. And his initial rant got tons of traction to the point where people like myself began contact him to clarify what he had firsthand knowledge of and what he did not. And I was one of the first people to interview Kappy during this maybe week or so of the incident going viral. I did so for We Are Change, and I would encourage everybody out there to please go check out this interview. I'm going to be posting the full piece again, although you can find it right here. It's still up on YouTube. Exclusive Isaac Kappy sets the record straight. And it only has 13,000 views. We put it on the secondary We Are Change channel. And some of the subject matter on the peripheral that we discussed was the James Gunn controversy that was going on, Harvey Weinstein, and the fact that Kate Beckinsale had accused Weinstein of making advances on her when she was only 17 years old, and much more. But the main claim, the firsthand knowledge claim that Kappy made was about Seth Green and his wife, Claire. And that story, those allegations, I always found to be credible. Now, unfortunately, as things progressed, Kappy got in with the wrong crowd. A lot of people out there still believe that Kappy may have been suicided. I want to just let people know I don't believe that at all. I have seen the police body cam footage of when Isaac Kappy was unfortunately just so gone that he was sitting on the edge of a throughway pass or a highway pass and eventually jumped to his death. Now, just prior to that incident, he had put out a video where he was discussing how he had done very, very bad things and he was guilty of all sorts of just terrible behavior. And I think that what happened with him was that he got hooked into people that were encouraging him to promote hoax material, encouraging him to use hard drugs, and encouraging him to promote other hoaxers, one of which was referred to as Vegan Mikey and the Voodoo Donuts incident. In fact, he brings up the Voodoo Donuts incident, which I was completely ignorant of, in the interview that, again, I will be reposting on Rumble and over at Rockfin, completely uncensored, after this broadcast. Now, why do I think that? Why do I think that he got in with those people? Well, I had private conversations with Isaac after this interview. He called me several times. He very much bought into the QAnonsense phenomenon. He had believed things like John McCain did not die of natural causes and instead was taken to Guantanamo Bay, tried, and executed, all of which never happened. And if you followed my work on the QAnonsense, I truly believe that it originated at DEF CON and that the Cicada group, the 3301 group, was heavily involved in that creation and promotion, definitely not for the right reasons. I'm not going to name the head of that, but I have had contacts who I trust privately message me and say that person who incessantly trolled me and tried to get me to, people tried to get him on my show. He was constantly in there, probably as multiple people, multiple bots. But I was told he was playing a game with Kappy called 23. And this game are I mean, it's the sickest thing you could imagine. Either these groups within the internet that actively try to get people to commit suicide and go crazy. And there's a bounty on them. Repulsive. So what made me bring up Kappy in the first place? Well, this story right here is breaking today. And one of the things that Kappy discussed with me was poker night at Dane Cook's house. And as you can see, Dane Cook 50 has just proposed, and she said yes, to Kelsey Taylor, who is 23. And we can now see that Kelsey Taylor was at these poker games when she was 17. It's also alleged there were girls as young as 14 at these parties. Now, when you scroll down, and I'm not accusing Dane Cook of anything. I want to just say that right now. But this is, I believe, Dane Cook, his current fiance, when she's 17 at the party. Now, if you'll notice right behind my head, there's Isaac Kappy. And to the left of Isaac Kappy is Seth Green and his wife, Claire. I don't think that should be ignored. Let's get to this picture. Again, Seth Green and his wife in the corner right there. And who's above him? Isaac Kappy. So, as you can see here, Dane Cook was posting, pictures with 15-year-old homegirls 7 years ago when he was 43. Here's, I believe, the same person at 16 with Dane Cook in this photo. And here's a picture of Dane Cook, Isaac Kappy, and Bella Thorne. Now, Bella Thorne is of age here. She is 18 years old. But if you haven't followed my work and you don't know about Bella Thorne, well, I'm going to let you find out for yourself right now what was happening to Bella Thorne between the ages of 6 and 14 for 8 years.
But it is what it is. Like, it's like anything in my life. I mean, if you read the book, you'll be like, transitioning from Disney to this was fucking easy. I don't know. Getting molested for fucking from your 6 to your 14 seems like way harder circumstances, or being physically abused all the time seems like a much more difficult situation than fucking have paparazzi following you since you were 12. I don't know. I was still being molested when paparazzi were still fucking following me. So it's pretty hard in my mind to think about these big flashlight photographs and everyone thinking they know me and talking about me, but having no idea the type of mistreatment that I was still dealing with at that time, that everyone around me saw and did nothing. So I don't know. You tell me what's so hard. Because that to me, way harder than any other of this other shit that I do on a daily basis.
So let's just kind of, diagnose what she just said there. She said that she was being molested from the time she was 6 to 14, and everybody around her saw what was going on, and nothing was done. Insanity. And this is not a unique story when it comes to child actors and actresses. In fact, recently, Jennifer McCurdy, who was part of the Dan Schneider's Bakery crew, started talking about being plied with alcohol while she was underage and people taking pictures of her, inappropriate pictures, in bikinis. So I'm going to let you guys decide. I'm going to let you guys go back, watch this retro video where I interview Kappy. Again, it's only going to be available at Rockfin and Rumble after I post this. And you tell me whether or not Isaac Kappy was telling the truth about Seth Green and his wife. Because a lot of the secondary stuff, the Tom Hanks stuff, the QAnon sense stuff, right, I never bought into. And I was always extremely specific as to what did you witness firsthand and what were you told. With that being said, guys, you know how to support the broadcast. The links are down below. Thumbs it up, subscribe, share, and remember, you can support me by becoming a Rockfin member, a subscriber. $9.99 a month or $99.99 for the year gets you access to everybody's premium content. It's like a Netflix for creators. I already give all my stuff away. Okay, I believe that the information is that damn important. If you don't want to do that and you still want to financially support the broadcast, you can easily do so by going down to the Buy Me a Coffee link. 5, 10, 15 bucks. It absolutely means the world to me. I'm currently on the road on my own dime. For those that think that I get paid to speak, I don't. I don't get any compensation whatsoever. I'm going to be speaking next weekend over in Batavia, New York on the Reawaken America tour. We're going to be talking about the deep state, the military-industrial complex, compartmentalization, and so much more. Because to me, it's not about a right or left thing. I want people on any political persuasion to look at my material and see that it goes beyond that Democrat, Republican paradigm. And I'm willing to pay out of pocket to do so. It ain't cheap driving from Iowa to New York and back and getting hotel rooms. I can tell you that. I can only do it with your support. And I want to say, I love you guys. Thanks for joining me on this very short, but I would say important and unfortunate broadcast. I wish I didn't have to talk about these things. I wish these things were not prevalent in the entertainment industry, but the more and more you look, the more and more you find out they absolutely are. So thank you, and I will see you on the flip.